So, a Sesame-esque street R-rated movie that pulls no punches when coming to jokes and is about a cop-turned-private detective out to solve a mystery on puppets getting murdered. You would think this movie would do good, or at least be enjoyable, right? So, a Happy Time Murders. What happened here? This movie was set up to be another sausage party, but it just fell flat. First off, let's talk about the actors and the voice acting. So, the two main people in this movie are Melissa McCarthy's character, Detective Connie, and the other one is Phil, who is of course the puppet voiced and moved by Bill Mariette. Now, the first one I want to talk about is Melissa McCarthy as Detective Connie. She does a good job in the movie, she serves her purpose, and that is of course the comic relief when Phil is on screen. Phil is a hard-boiled detective. To counter that, they chose to give Detective Connie the opposite behavior and the opposite personality, which has been done to death by now, and I wish they would try to do something else. R.A.P.D., Men in Black, Thor Ragnarok, and so on. Unfortunately, if you're looking for character in Connie, you have to look somewhere else, because it's not there. There's really no backstory to her, other than when Phil has flashbacks when he's sleeping, and they show how he actually became a private investigator. That's the only really backstory you get for Connie as a character. One thing I have to say about her character that was actually done really well was her interactions with Phil. They have this sort of banter that goes back and forth, and while sometimes it can overstay its welcome, when it does happen on screen, it's actually pretty entertaining to watch. Phil's character is the standout character for me. While it's not the best, I could see what they were going for. And without spoiling too much, there's this flashback on why he's a private investigator now. And in those flashbacks and conversations with Detective Connie, we get to know the character a little more, and it was done pretty well. So what about the other cast members? You know, the two strippers, the junkie, all those characters that were in the trailer that you were so excited to see in the movie and thought you were going to have big laughs. Well, unfortunately, they are hardly in this movie. It sort of comes to the point where you hardly even notice them. They just are in a couple scenes and then they just leave, and that's that. The problem is that they go through each and every character and something happens to them. I won't tell you what happens because then that'll just spoil it for you, but unfortunately this makes it so that they hardly get any screen time, and I was actually pretty disappointed in this because I thought I was going to see these characters have a whole bunch of great moments that made me laugh. Even the moments they were in, it didn't make me laugh. Like, the humor in this movie is just so dumb. It's really dumb, and dumb humor can work, but in this movie it just didn't. It was to the point where no one in the theater actually laughed at the jokes. And this was a big problem because this movie relies on its humor. This movie has a lot of different kind of humor, the grotesque humor, shock value humor, kiddie humor. While those humors can work, it just didn't work in this movie, and which is extremely unfortunate because this is a comedy. And if a comedy does not make you laugh, then there's a big problem, and that's probably why it has a 22 on Rotten Tomatoes, and why a lot of critics don't like it, because the humor just wasn't good in this movie. I do have to say that I did like the world in this movie. In Happy Time Murders, puppets are actually alive. They're not controlled by human beings, and there's this hatred towards these puppets, which actually is never explained, which was pretty dumb in my opinion. The idea was great. Even the murder aspect of the movie that it had going for it was actually pretty decent, but the execution was just so bad. While movies like Sausage Party landed it on the nail and had so many people laughing in the theater, it was the opposite in this movie. Should you see Happy Time Murders? Honestly, don't go see this movie. It's pretty bad. If you're still curious about the movie after this review, then I would say take it out of the library or try to get it from a friend who actually enjoyed this movie and bought it. Because Happy Time Murders is a bad movie and not worth your hard-earned money. Alright guys, if you enjoyed this video and you actually want more movie reviews like this, I upload them every Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern Central, so make sure you're subscribed and come back to my channel at that time if you want another movie review. And if you like this review, hit that thumbs up and have a great day.